Is it in October now, isn't it? Just a couple of days then before we touch November. And the weather, from what we know, is that some parts of the country are quite warm, but at the same time wet. If you do know then, majority parts of the country this weekend have experienced more than average amounts of rainfall. That's good for farming as we approach the end of the year. If you are in Nairobi, and when we say in Nairobi, you have to be within touching distance of the CBD. So guys in Kiserian, Kitengela, and Mlolongo, you might not be included in this conversation, yeah? Because you step out of Nairobi County to come into Nairobi. But then, if you are within Nairobi, then you do know that this weekend also, on from Friday to Saturday, all the way to Sunday, some parts of the city also experienced good rainfall as well. Be a part of our conversation this morning, and we're going to look at the state of the nation this morning, but we're going to cast our eyes on what is happening in the political corridors of this country, conversations around what is happening within the ODM party and the UDA party as well, conversations around how these parties are supposed to approach the 2027 general election period. I'll be introducing the gentleman who will be joining us this morning for that wholesome conversation. And you also want to be a part of it, you can talk to us at Lookup TV across all your social media platforms. Myself, I am at Kiangasimba. The hashtag is Lookup TV this morning. All right, now just in a touching distance of what majority of politicians are talking about then, in as regards the conversations around the ODM party, we do know there is a big fight within the ODM party. Let me not say within the ODM party. There's a big fight from some ODM party leaders towards the UDA, towards the opposition in this country. We do know when we're talking about the opposition, ODM is not essentially in opposition, but we're talking about broad-based government conversations. Rigathi Gachagua has come under fire recently for not visiting Raila Amolo Odinga's family. He's come in and he's put his ideas forward, but it looks as if some members of the ODM party are not happy with him. We'll be talking about that this morning. And also, pictures have come up of Rigathi Gachagua, Matiang'i and Kalonzo and Martha Karua in a meeting. We do not know exactly how the meeting is supposed to shape the opposition politics in the country. We will also be talking about that this morning. But more importantly, how politics in this country are going to look after one Raila Amolo Odinga. That's it. Now let me just get you up to speed on exactly what is happening from the ODM side. We do know that in Bondo, party leaders met and emphatically affirmed that ODM will continue to support President William Ruto, sustaining its role in the broad-based government. Oburu Odinga, acting leader, insisted that the alliance was consistent with Raila's last political direction and necessity for national unity. All right. Now, this move actually did send shockwaves in the opposition circles. Some critics argued that endorsing the ruling coalition so soon undermines ODM's legacy as a resistance party. And that's exactly what we talk about this morning as well. Succession, power plays, and internal pressure is also what we're reading so much. Now, across the weekend, speculation over who will lead ODM grew louder. In Siaya, Member of Parliament Samuel Atandi publicly claimed that Raila left no clear successor, casting doubt on whether any party member could match President Ruto's power. Now, that's where the conversation is going to come from, that no party member within ODM currently, as it is, can match President Ruto's political power in the country. Now, the political tensions within ODM, as we do know, and one man who's shot up to that line is one Edwin Sifuna, who's come in to say that he doesn't envision ODM as a party to move into this coalition past 2027. In fact, he says he doesn't support it Baba never supported it past 2027. And in fact, if you go back and open a couple of pages on exactly what is presented as the SG of the ODM party, it said, we need a candidate into 2027. How that is also going to shape the politics of ODM, because as a man who's speaking as the SG, is something that we have to talk about this morning as well. The question that we're asking then is ODM as a party, who leads, who follows? That's the question that we ask this morning, and also be a part of that conversation. Talk to us at Look Up TV across all your social media platforms at a time when even Deputy ODM leader, who's Simba Arati, also extended an olive branch to one Kalonzo Musyoka and President Ruto to join the ODM party. Interesting facts indeed across the country. Just before then, we talk about that this morning. Let me take you to what you're waking up to this morning in your dailies. And as usual, we're going to start with the Daily Nation. See the headlines that they have this morning for you. And it is what we're talking about this morning. And as also going to form part of our conversation, Raila party in crisis meeting as Oburu takes charge. Senior Senator Oburu Oginga, who was recently installed as the interim ODM party leader following the death of his brother Raila, has convened a meeting of the party's top decision-making organ, that is today, in the face of growing internal fights. Are there internal fights in the party, or its leaders who are really trying to point the party in a certain direction? We talk about that this morning as well. If you want to read that story, it's been covered on page 7 of the Daily Nation. The bigger headline though here is abductions. UN demands answers. The Kenyan government has snapped 2 letters from the United Nations officials raising concerns about police killings, abductions, and forced disappearances, detention, and prosecution of government critics following protests in 2024 this year, by ignoring the communication from Ms. Mary Lawler, the special rapporteur of the situation of human rights defenders. Kenya's case will be referred to the Human Rights Council, an organ of the UN General Assembly. That story, by the way, has been covered on page 4 and 5. Looks as if the government is not off the hooks as regards this particular story right here. It was the biggest story back in 2025 and 2024 at the height of the Gen Z demonstrations in the country. And now you would think that we're done with that story, but the UN wants answers. And according to this story, the government has snapped those 2 letters that were demanding answers as to why there were abductions in the country. You want to read that story, then you gotta go all the way to page 4 and 5 of the Daily Nation this morning. Good. In the education corridor, we do know that students have begin exams on senior school placement. Now, over 2 million candidates will today sit the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment, that is KPSEA, and the Kenya Junior School Education Assessment, KJCA, ahead of transition to senior school. By the way, it's not KCPE anymore. It's not KCPE anymore. Are we done? I need to be informed on this. So KCPE is done, isn't it? So it is KPSEA and KJSEA. So grade 6, yes, if I'm not wrong, grade 6 I also sit in that exam today, as from today. So some schools are closed. Actually, schools are not closed in entirety, because the candidates, now that is KPSEA and KJSEA, are in school doing these examinations as from today. Yeah? If I'm not wrong, grade 6 kids are supposed to be in school doing those exams as from today, isn't it? Yes. Couple, son killed in accident after lorry, the dowry ceremony in Kiambu. That story has been covered on page 17 as well. Those are the major stories that I can see right here on the Daily Nation. And just like I keep on telling you, majority of these stories have also been given coverage on our platforms, that is at Lookup TV, across all of them. Good. Let's talk about the Standard this morning, see what they have for us as well. The bigger story here is trapped in Russia. That's the bigger story. Russia war on Ukraine is now affecting Kenyans directly, with severe consequences as it emerges that hundreds of the country's youths have been trapped and forced to fight on Russia's front lines, with dozens killed and many more nursing life-changing injuries in military hospitals. Most were promised well-paying jobs but were coerced into the army upon arrival. Today, that is according to the Standard, we released the identities of 5 young men who traveled to Russia between July and August, whose whereabouts are unknown back home, but are said to be on the front lines. That story has been covered on page 2 and 3. And the names is Orima Jobikotieno, 24 years old. There is Tariq Ahmed, 25 years old. Kariuki Samuel Maina, 31 years old. Kuloba David Shikanda, 22 years old. And Wangari Ruben, 29 years old. So this is a Kenya returnee from Russia who said they sent us to the war front after 5 days of training. On the front lines, there is no food, no water, no medical attention. When you are injured and cannot walk at all, you are left to die, because majority of men serving there are not Russian. That is the story that has been covered on the Standard this morning. And if you want to be a part, and if you want to read that story, then you have to go all the way to page 2 and 3 of the Standard this morning. Now, milestones as Lana Sit, KG SAR and grade 9 exam. Yeah, examination will determine transition to senior school for inaugural cohort of grade 9 candidates in new CBA system. Yes, we are done officially with the KCPE exams. So that story has been covered on page 4. So it is grade 9 exam and the KGSR exam. So grade 6 are supposed to sit, the ones that are supposed to help them transition into junior secondary school, and also grade 9 that is supposed to transition them to senior school, all right, for the inaugural cohort of the grade 9 candidates in the new CBE system. It's a bit relaxed, isn't it? Because we're told all of them got to transition to the senior schools in the country. So we're going to see exactly how those results are going to look like come the end of this year, isn't it? Right, story here on our state takes baby steps in $82 billion drug haul. Investigators are keen to avoid past mistakes as detectives seek more time to hold Iranian suspects amid mystery over consignments owners. Page 6. If you're not aware of this story, is that Kenya actually nabbed drugs worth 8.2 billion. That's a lot of money. Oof. Yeah. And this is after the ship that was carrying the drugs was undetected in majority of the sea waters that it covered. It's an interesting story that you got to read right here on page, that is on page 6 of the Standard this morning. Good. On that, then, let's cross over and see exactly what Kenyans are talking about online in your trends this morning. I don't know. Man United played on Saturday. Guys, we're only talking about things that Kenyans have been talking about all the way from yesterday to today in the morning. So again, I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk about Man United this morning, because I can see a lot of you want us to talk about Man United. But why would we talk about Man United this morning? Guys, it's something that happened on Saturday. So why are you still talking about Man United this morning? Let me see what you're talking about. I've got Issa this morning was saying Man United is going to win the league. I'm sorry, I don't think so. Really? After winning 3 games, all of a sudden now Man United is going to win the league? I'm sorry, guys, it doesn't work like that. And we kept on saying, give it 15 games. Yeah? Give it 15 games or so. That's the only time that we'll start talking about Man United being close to winning the league. Even Arsenal, who were very, very good, we're not so sure whether we're going to win it. So guys, just let it go. Please, kindly. We're not going to talk about Man United this morning. Other than that, I can see a couple of trends here that we got to talk about this morning as well. I don't know. Yes, we can talk about Arsenal. Yes, because we won yesterday. It's the only thing I'm going to say about it. Now, let me tell you a miracle that is happening at the Emirates, because I know what you guys are talking about, even without reading your tweets here. Arsenal have played how many games this season? It's 13 games. That is across all the competitions, and we're playing on Wednesday as well. That's the day after tomorrow. We've only conceded 3 goals. 3 only. That's a big thing. Yeah? 3. How many goals have Man United conceded? You're already in double digits. Some to the likes of Liverpool and Man City. But there's a team called Arsenal where if you don't score them, they'll score you. Well, they're sure of scoring you, but you're not so sure whether you're going to score them. That's exactly where we are. Now, you see, that's something that we can talk about this morning in terms of news, that's bigger than Man United, all right? So let me just read a couple of tweets here, just 1 or 2, because you're talking about it this morning. I've got Simon Otieno this morning saying Nicolas Jova single-handedly changed football in the Premier League without being a manager. Drop. That's true. And I can also see pictures of the elephant on the tree. Guys, I don't think it's going to be an elephant anymore this morning. It's like everything that you're talking about this morning is about football. I can also see Real Madrid trending as well. So I'm so sorry for those Manchester City fans who are Real Madrid fans and Liverpool fans who are Real Madrid fans. Sorry, Barcelona fans, because then again, Real Madrid won yesterday after Lamine Yamal spoke so badly towards the start of that game. I'll leave that for Ulingo Asporti, who are going to be joining us today to talk about what has happened. Mau Summit Highway is something that we're going to talk about this morning, because now you're going to have to pay 8 shillings per kilometer, yeah, to use the Mau Summit Highway, yeah. The stretch is going to be 233 kilometers, which will rival some of the most scenic highways found across the world. But then it's going to cost you. It's not going to be free. There are also good news that the approval for the award of the Rironi Nakuru Mau Summit project approval has been granted by Kenya to negotiate with the preferred bidder with detailed information on the agreed positions. So this is for those who might be interested with these construction companies. It might go the China way. We've seen majority of these bigger projects in the country going the China way. But if there is an interested bidder in the country, because now that's a tender that is gaining storm, then you can go right in and be awarded that tender, also be part of the this. Now the project is being financed entirely by the private partner under the design, build, finance, operate, transfer model. The investor will fund, construct, and maintain the road for 30 years, recovering costs through regulated toll revenues, ring-fenced for the corridor. The arrangement fully transfers financing and operational risks to the private partner, while any revenue surpluses above agreed benchmarks will revert to the government. So it's been set at 8 shillings per kilometer. Now, how much is it going to cost? It's going to cost 339 billion as profit in 30 years by charging drivers at least 8 shillings per kilometer. Oof. Yeah, that's a lot of money, isn't it? And if you look at it with the French contractors, this is going to be the French contractors, by the way, for the Mau Summit Highway. But this is the twist. 2 reports don't match on the compensation paid. One report is showing that it's going to be 7.3 billion, another 6.2 billion, but that with the controller budget saying that she approved 6.2 billion. Good. Let's look at what the State Department for Roads is talking about this morning. It's saying the fiscal reality on why private-public partnership is necessary. Now, Kenya, like most developing nations, finances public services and infrastructure through a combination of tax revenues, going all the way to saying that Kenya's fiscal context has evolved. The national budget is under increasing pressure, which is why they decided to make this a PPP, so that we have that Mau Summit Highway then becoming a reality. Tanzania is trending this morning. We do know they are going into elections, yeah? on the fast, this is what is it. A lot of Kenyans really looking at the situation in Tanzania, with a lot of trending comments then this morning on the direction that Tanzania President Samia Hassan Suluhu has taken to push her competitors to the periphery. Couple of pictures this morning. Let me just read a couple. Alinur Mohammed was saying, you might think Tanzania is preparing for war, but it's only general elections. Yeah. There's a lot of military presence across the country as Tanzania prepares to go into that election period. That's on the 29th of October, with a lot of Tanzanians also speaking on this. They do not like the direction that Samia Hassan Suluhu has taken just to be the front runner in this election, as it were, this morning. A lot of pictures that are coming from Tanzania this morning as they prepare then to go into that election. Good. Uhuru Kenyatta is training this morning. He's just 64 years old, by the way. And yesterday, he was surprised. Well, a couple of his close friends surprised him with a party. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta celebrated his 64th birthday on October 26, 2025, with an unexpected cake presentation from family and friends at a wedding, capturing his stunned reaction in videos that spread rapidly on social media yesterday. All right? Politicians such as Martha Karua and Fred Matiang'i shared tributes highlighting his leadership and influence, while Kenyans on X expressed appreciation for his legacy and unity. Yeah? That's it. If you look at those pictures, then you will see how that guy was surprised, you know? Beautiful pictures right there. But then some guy said, bwana ilikuwa kwa wedding bwana. Sasa attention yote ilienda kwa president na bibi na bwana harusi walikuwa tu hapa kishangaa. Hii ceremony ilikuwa yetu ama ilikuwa ya president, you know? Guys, I don't celebrate birthdays, but if you want to surprise somebody, don't do it at a proper event like a wedding. You step outside and probably do it at somewhere else. Watu wote bwana, event iligeuka ikakuwa ya president. I'm not the one saying this. It's just what Kenyans are saying from this morning. Martha Karua saying, happy birthday, Uhuru Kenyatta, the 4th president of Kenya, wishing you many happy returns. Yeah, that's what it is this morning. Well, from Look Up TV then, also for us now, it's just for us to say, happy birthday, Mr. President. 64 is quite young. So we wish you very many that are yet to come in front of you. Finally, this morning, the last conversation this morning on what Kenya is talking about online, Bonnie Kalole, I'll be telling you exactly why it's trending, and that's why we have the gentlemen who are in the studio this morning to talk to us about that. Let me then introduce the chair of UDA lobby groups. Douglas, how are you doing, sir, Mr. Shiuka?
I'm fine.
How was your weekend, man?
The weekend was good.
Yes.
And how about you?
Fantastic. I was told to ask you this question just before we start our conversation this morning. Should one Rigathi Gachagua pay a personal visit to the family of one Raila Amolo Odinga?
I think yes.
Is it overdue?
He should.
They should?
Yes.
Fantastic. Another question just before then we begin our conversation this morning. The main one is coming from this headline that we've seen this morning on the Daily Nation. Even the director can actually take us back to the Daily Nation this morning so we can get to look at this headline. It is talking about divisions within ODM, as it were. We've seen a couple of statements that are coming from majority of these leaders. And this is what the headline is saying. Raila's party in a crisis meeting as Oburu takes charge. But this is what critics are saying, that there's nobody in that party currently as it is who has more power than President Dr. William Ruto. I know we're going to talk about that. Just a couple of sentiments. Do you agree that that leadership as it is now, there's nobody within that party who grounds more than President Ruto? That's why that party hasn't decided yet.
The current position in UDM This is what is undergoing the natural process of filling the position of the enigma.
Yes.
That is the enigma, Raila Amolo Odinga. It shows you what kind of a person he was in this country, within the opposition and in the government. So from there, let's roll the ball.
That's it.
Yes.
Pretty much just before we get started this morning, because I can also see Senator Ken Babu is in the studio this morning. The one here on abductions and UN demanding answers. The state has snapped that letter twice now, when the UN is demanding answers of abductions in 2024 all the way to 2025. What's your reaction to that?
If there is evidence, let them bring them forward, then they can push the agenda.
Yes.
But just saying abduction without evidence, to me, I don't think it's right.
It's a snap. It's a snap of that letter. They haven't answered yet. if I write to you to respond to a sudden accusation, if you're okay, then you don't have to respond to it. I mean, you can respond and say, there's no evidence. Why are they snapping?
I think the state agencies have got their own reasons.
Yes.
So I think a letter is not enough.
Yes.
They need to use the right procedure and channel, because this goes to investigation and there is the rule of law within the courts. So I think they should go through, use the due process, use the right channels to get the information.
That's it.
Not just writing a letter.
That's it. Pretty much just a quick sentiment then, right there, of the gentleman who's going to join us for the next 1 hour to talk about the big issues within the country as it is. And this headline right here, Raila's party in crisis meeting as Oburu tax charge. A lot of ODM leaders have been speaking, including Deputy Party Leader, that is Arati, who's welcoming Kalonzo back to the party. Guess what? We take a tiny breather. Once we come back, Senator Ken Babu is in the studio this morning as well. We do have the chair of UDA lobby groups in the country, also Mr. Shuka Douglas, as we weigh into the crisis within ODM. Is there a crisis? And do you believe that there's nobody who's got more power than President William Ruto who can take that party to the next step? Once we come back right here on The Morning Drift.
Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Lookup, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria wasa wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hao sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi mazuri.
Mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
People are there to belittle you.
When people are questioning you,
if you don't move fast, of course, yes, you lose it, but then it's not us to push you.
But you do not know the God who has been molding me. What has he been doing to me?
The deep and mature conversations of empowerment for you with a curious mind and an appetite for oriented conversations.
I concur with what you're saying.
You plan your finances, you can easily live without a debt.
An engaging safe space of free expression and truthfulness with an upheld vibrance, motivation and happiness.
So many children who are there, they are not living their dreams.
Join us for deep conversations with Zipporah Gashushe every Saturday from 8 p.m. The Deeper Conversations on Look Up TV.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
All right. The gentlemen are seated in the studio this morning. We want to pick their views on what's going on in the country. If you did see our poster on our social media platforms, there was a simple question that every other person is asking, ODM, who leads, who follows? And that question right there sits within what's going on in the party as we speak. We've seen a couple of leaders in the party have divergent views on exactly what needs to happen in the party, on who needs to take charge, on who needs not to take charge. Everything, as it were, this morning is getting spoken in the party. Now, let's then settle in and see exactly where we are. Today, we do know there is a crisis meeting that is supposed to be held by the ODM party. That is here Senator Oburu Oginga, who recently was installed as the interim ODM party leader following the death of his brother. Raila has convened a meeting of the party's top decision-making organ today in the face of the growing fights. Let me then take time to say hi to one man who's joined us this morning, who is Senator Ken Babu this morning, who's the Youth Chair, United Opposition. Ken Babu, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Fantastic.
Yeah, again. And I think it's a good platform to talk to people.
That's it.
Kenyans. That we talk to the young people who are gradually taking over the leadership and shaping the direction of this country.
That's it. All right, I'll start with you, Mr. Shiuka. What crisis is currently within ODM? Why do we need to hold a crisis meeting?
Thank you so much, Mr. Simba, for having me again on this show. The ODM meeting, to me,
yes,
I don't think it's a crisis meeting. It's a meeting that is natural, trying to fill the position of Raila Amolo Odinga.
Yes.
Because Raila Amolo Odinga has been the leader of ODM for the last 20 years. And if I will allow me, I'll take you back 47 years ago, when Kenya found itself almost in the same position.
Yes.
Twice. This, in fact, is the third scenario where Kenya has found itself in such a position. The first was 1978, when the founding father of the nation, His Excellency Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, passed away in Mombasa. And succession started in earnest. And during that time, Moi was the deputy president, the vice president then. And the powers that be that were around His Excellency, the president, the founding father, were not for His Excellency, the deputy president, to succeed him. So they started fights, succession battles began in earnest. There were those who, by that time, they were known as the Kiambu Mafia, led by the Njenga Karume and Koinanges of this world.
Yes.
And then there was also another team, clique, led by Sir Charles Njonjo, the AG, the AG then. So there was a struggle because there was a vacuum of leadership of the presidency. So it was decided that the Kiambu Mafia could not allow the president to take over from the founding father because they thought they assumed that this position belonged to them.
Yes.
And they had to fight.
Yes.
They had to fight for it. But then, inside the same government, led by Sir Charles Njonjo, they had a view, no, let's succession be smooth. Let's assist the His Excellency the Vice President to succeed Kenyatta, but just for a short while. That's when the talk of the passing cloud came in. They said, no, let's just assist the Deputy President to assume power just for a short while. Then they said the passing cloud. He was so harmless. After the President assumed power, 1982, there was the attempted coup to topple him. It was not successful. And among those people who launched the coup plotters, it was said that Charles Njonjo was among them.
That's it.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Then that act of trying to topple the president, Moi, made him to be completely merciless and ruthless. Then he held on power. He crushed completely the Kiambu Mafia.
Yes.
And he ruled for 24 years, non-stop. That's scenario number one. Mm-hmm. Scenario number two, 16 years later on, 1994, when the father of democracy, multi-party democracy, the Doyen, Oginga Odinga, passed on in Fort Kenya. Almost the same scenario. When Michael Kijana Wamalwa was the vice president, was the vice chairman, Raila Amolo Odinga was the director of election then. With the power plays dynamics of the hierarchy in the party and the law Nyanza politically, Raila assumed that Oginga Odinga being my father and coming from the law Nyanza, being the majority people in the Fort Kenya, I deserve to succeed him. And there was a succession battle between Raila Amolo Odinga and Michael Kijana Wamalwa.
Yes.
It was so fierce that they went to Thika Stadium for an election whereby Kijana Wamalwa won against Raila Amolo Odinga.
Yes.
In protest, Raila Amolo Odinga resigned from the party and formed NDP. And he contested on it in Kibera and he won. That is how Raila Amolo Odinga got his power. He was never coronated, he was never endorsed. He assumed his power, his current power, by going through the process, by emerging, by struggling when he formed his party.
Yes.
And then he came and collaborated with the KANU when he was given the SG position. So I'm just trying to give you this scenario before so that I can come and explain the current position and what I think we are heading to. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that in politics, it's about interest. Interest and service to the people. Okay? And power is never given. In the two examples I've given you, nobody said, okay, we are endorsing this one. You need to struggle for you to emerge.
Yes.
So in the second scenario, where Raila struggled and emerged, after the death of Wamalwa, then he emerged, then he had this following. So in the current position, where the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga exited the stage, we are bound to have a succession battle. Mm-hmm. First, from the local community where he comes from, and second,
yes,
within the political party that he has led for 20 years. Because after Oginga Odinga, the local community has always voted and supported behind Raila Amolo Odinga.
Yes.
They never imagined one day that the Odingaism will move out of the stage. Now it has done. That's why you see the Luo community, they hate to coronate the son, Raila Jr., to be the leader of the family, because that's where it starts.
That's it.
And then the party, on interim basis, endorsed Oburu Odinga to head the party. But that is still a process that is still ongoing to see who is going to take charge of the ODM party and push the agenda that was alive before the death of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga.
That's it.
So to me, the meeting that is going to be held is not a crisis meeting. It's a meeting. It's a meeting that that is being pushed by natural discourse to get a leader. And finally, a leader will emerge, either through agreement or through a natural process.
That's it.
Of just emerging.
And we're going to come and look at that as a proper introduction to the crisis, albeit that is now within this particular party. Babu, I want to start like this. What crisis are we looking at? And when did this crisis begin? And number two, you hear what Shiuka is saying, that there is a natural battle within the party for succession now. Who is this that naturally endorsed Oburu Odinga as the interim party leader? And if so, why haven't we seen leaders from within the party, Babu, come out clearly to start drumming up support to be the leaders for the biggest political party in the country, which is ODM?
Thank you so much. And I think this is now the first time I'm appearing here following after the death of Raila Amolo Odinga.
Yes.
First, allow me extend my condolences once again to the family of the Odinga family, and led by, of course, now Raila Jr. and Mama Ida. It was a big shocker to the entire country, and not only the Luo nation, but to the entire country, because Raila is one man who, to some extent, controlled the entire nation. He was a man without a defined office, but with the extreme powers. I want to express my sympathies and condolences to that family. And of course, we've had a lot of speculations whether His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has been barred from visiting Bondo, and we saw that some leaders, some section of leaders were trying to allude to such. I want to ride on this on the speech and the sentiments of Raila Jr., who currently is the head of the family, where he clearly stated that them as a family, they do not have any issue with anybody, and they're not stopping anybody from visiting the graveside. They're not stopping anybody from mourning with them, because they understand the position and the person Raila was to the entire country. And if today it was, for instance, God forbid, a key leader who died in the mountain, Raila could have been there. And therefore the family is open to receive His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua. And I want to put on record here that very soon, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua and his entourage of opposition leaders, including yours truly, the youth chair of the opposition, will be in Bondo to condole with the family of the Odinga family and the entire Oginga Odinga and Jaramogi family.
Why haven't you guys gone there yet?
We will do that because we understand clearly that the person we are talking about was a national figure. And you know, it takes time. We are talking about the family. We are not talking about the entire community.
Yes.
People react to situations differently.
Yes.
Remember when Nderitu Gachagua died, at the height of politics and tension between Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila was in Madeira.
That's it. And that's a contrast that people are giving in this situation.
And he was given a platform to talk.
That's it. And that's the contrast that people are giving in this situation. I mean, Babu, we are now looking into the 3rd week since the passing of Raila Amolo Odinga.
That's why I've told you.
Yes.
That Rigathi Gachagua will be in Bondo.
Yes.
Accompanied by
entire
opposition.
When you look at those reasons, and I know we're going to get, because that's part of what we're talking about this morning as well, when we're looking at the reasons that Rigathi Gachagua was given for not going there a bit earlier, do they stand the water, really?
You know, you cannot go deep into it and discussion.
Yes.
Because, you see, Rigathi Gachagua and Raila had their own personal relationships beyond politics. That one you have to agree. So we cannot delve so much into it, but what I can assure you and the entire nation is that he is also a man with emotions, and as the family had confirmed, that they have welcomed everybody from across the country and across the continent. He will be there to condole and mourn with that family and pass his sympathies alongside other opposition leaders. Tutakuwa pale. Let me bring it back to the conversation. Issues around ODM and transition and everything, and I want to pick it from where my senior brothers put it. Dating back in 1994 when Jaramogi died, and in the run-up for 95, Raila thought in his own wisdom that Mike Kijana Wamalwa was not fit to run the party, which his father had controlled for a long time.
Yes.
And he did not stage a coup. He actually threw himself into the battlefield and said that we are going to take over the party and lead the party, offer alternative leadership. You know, at that time, Raila was the young tax that we are seeing today. So we want to, if you look at the age, they were not that, I mean, there was not that big age difference, because if I look at Mike Kijana was 1944.
Yes.
Raila was 1945. That's just 1 year. But in terms of exposure and the name, Mike Kijana has been around. I'd been around for some time. But Raila stepped up to offer alternative leadership upon the death, following the death of his father, and it was very chaotic, and it ended in thick stadium,
yes,
where people were beaten seriously. And I want to tell you that in ODM as it is right now, nobody, not even in ODM alone, but in this country, nobody had imagined that one day Raila Odinga will be in a position where he cannot talk. So you see, everybody is in shock. People are dealing with shock. The situation that we are handling right now, we are just trying to restructure ourselves and deal with this shock so that we can be within the mainstreams.
Yes.
That's what's happening in ODM. When Raila died, ODM has got, according to their constitution, they have 3 deputy party leaders. They have Governor Simba Arati,
that's it,
Senator Otsotsi, and Governor Abdul Samad. ODM has a chairperson. Apart from that, ODM has long-serving members, experienced leaders, people like James Agri Bobo Rengo, people like Governor Peter Anyang'. These are people who have been in the trenches with the immediate former party leader.
Yes.
But when Raila, do you know that Oburu Odinga, with all that experience and wisdom that he has, did not hold any leadership position in ODM until Raila died? He did not. He wasn't a member of NEC. He was a party member representing Siaya County.
Yes.
But when Raila died, things were done very fast, and he was installed as the party leader.
Why?
Because of the following reasons.
Was it the easy way out?
Let me elaborate it further.
Yes.
Number one, ODM as it is right now has got different factions, thinking differently, different agendas, and different interests. It is only Oburu Odinga as of now, whose ambitions to some extent do not threaten anybody in the party. Get that? So as of now, he is the only person who can unify. Remember, they have to focus first on the stability of the party before they negotiate or get into any agreement.
Yes.
So to stabilize the party, leave alone popularization of the party, the party is already popular. But to stabilize the party and put the party together, the only person in terms of age, experience, and respect who can say, let's sit down and discuss, is Dr. Oburu Odinga. And that is number one reason why I feel he was given that mandate.
Yes.
Number two, if you look at party chairperson, somebody like Gladys Wanga. There's a faction within the party that feels unsafe with her. And they have a feeling that if she rises to the party leadership, she might not lead the party in the direction that this faction feels the party should go. 2, there's the faction of where the party has been dominant, the region that the party has been dominant. They are also not comfortable with the certain leaders taking over the party leadership, because they feel to some extent they might reduce their benefits within the party as they have been benefiting. Thirdly, this arrangement of having Dr. Oburu as the party leader of ODM also serves the interest of number 1, that is Dr. Ruto. Well, good, they are both doctors now. At least the UDA has a doctor, ODM has a doctor. I don't know what they want to treat, but anyway, they will treat something. Now, if you look at James Bob Orengo, Governor of Siaya, who has got potential of leading that party, is not fully and has not fully been in broad-based.
Yes.
He's always had his reservations as far as broad-based government is concerned. Secondly, if you look at Kisumu Governor, the outgoing Kisumu, in fact, Anyang' Nyong'o do not have any mandate as far as after 2027, because he's finishing his term. Anyang' Nyong'o is also another senior party member, the longest serving SG, founding SG. Anyang' Nyong'o has not been fully in a broad-based government. He has always have his reservations,
yes,
as far as this arrangement is concerned.
Yes.
Deputy Party Leader 1, Simba Arati, who is also a man of potential to lead the party, has had his own reservations about the broad-based arrangement. So the president, through his intelligence, got wind that there is an arrangement to restructure the ODM leadership. And Anyang' Nyong'o, James Orengo, and Simba Arati are in the runners-up, and either of them can be installed as the party leader interimly,
yes,
to structure the party as we move forward. And he looked at all those people and realized that if any of these guys capture power in this party, then we have a serious battle ahead. Who can handle this party briefly,
yes,
on my behalf.
And
that's why, let me just land.
Yes.
And that's why you saw when the president took to the podium in Bondo, he started by warning rebelling members within the ODM party. And he issued warnings, though he did not mention names, but if you read the body language and the conversation, the context in which he was talking, he was like, we are not going to allow you to take this party into the opposition. We are, how do you say we and you are not a member of that party? Then it means you have so much interest vested in that party. And to some extent, you've already aligned your lieutenants within the party. I'm not disputing the fact that Dr. Oburu has got the capacity. One thing I know he will do is to put that party into order, because he's the only person whom all those people, apart from Raila,
yes,
now respects. And let me tell you, Simba, you see, many people did not love or associate with ODM because it was the best party. If you look, if you observed, if you have been keen in observing events that happened between the time Raila died until the burial, people have been aligned to Raila as a person. To Raila as a person. And I think it's on this session that I once said, sometimes back, that if Raila was to move out of ODM at that time and form another party, 3/4 of those membership would follow him to that party. Remember, Raila was the only leader in this country who ever resigned 1 year to general elections and went for a by-election and won and came back, and the following elections he contested for presidency. 95, 96, by-election, 97, general election, 97, running for presidency. It's on record, and no other leader has ever tried that. Yes. And let me land. The ODM as it is right now, and he said it rightfully, the meeting that the NMC is holding today is not a crisis meeting. I don't know why you media people are saying it's a crisis meeting. It's a meeting to put the house in order.
Succession meeting.
Succession meeting. 1994, such meetings were held, but they were not fruitful. But it started at that level. People must sit down first. You cannot just wake up and disagree. Why are you disagreeing? You've not been heard. You've not brought your ideas forth and they have not been rejected. So people have to sit first. It must start somewhere. So that's why it's starting. If that NMC does not agree, that's why that's now when we can see situations of 94.
That's it.
Where people now will say, okay, let's go to the NDC and let the delegates vote who becomes the party leader.
That's it. But Shuka, a couple of issues that you got to respond to even before you present your ideas forward to what Babu was presented this morning. Number one, that Dr. Oburu, being the interim party leader or eventually being the party leader for ODM, serves the president. And the president is happy if that status quo is maintained even after today's meeting. Number two, he says that as it were right now, the president would like ODM to remain as it is. So confirm this, because I have the sentiments of one Oburu Odinga from this weekend, and this is what he said. This is what he said. He said that the alliance was consistent with Raila's last political direction and necessary for national unity. He's a man who speaks what the president wants to hear right now. Even his sentiments from this weekend is exactly what the president has been saying. Let's start with what Babu said, that those two doctors now, I mean, they're happy as it is. So what are they treating?
Mr. Silva, I don't agree with that, but I'll say this, that parties are formed to get power, either singly or in a coalition. One. Two, before the untimely demise of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, he had already shown his followers, party members,
yes,
that we formed ODM to be in power. But since we did not manage to get power, now we have an agreement with the party that is in power, UDA, to move forward and enjoy and build the nation together. That is where he left the party when his untimely demise. So for Oburu Odinga, as an interim chair, he's not serving the interests of His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Oburu Odinga's interim chair of ODM, and by his pronouncing that he's going to cooperate with the UDA, he's just aligning himself with the agreement and serving the interest of his people, yes, and the party members of the party.
Yes.
Because this is where the agreement, the broad-based agreement, was signed. So Oburu Odinga, by saying that he worked with His Excellency, the President, he's not dreaming, or that's not his personal views. It is the views from the broad-based agreement that was signed between ODM and UDA.
Yes.
And this broad-based agreement was not in the interest of His Excellency the President or Raila Amolo Odinga. It was in the interest of the members of the two coalitions, and in particular, and also in the Kenya, in the whole of the Republic, to heal the country and to offer inclusivity for all Kenyans. So anybody who's saying that the confirmation of Oburu Odinga as the interim chair of ODM is serving the interests of His Excellency the President is completely wrong.
Just a quick response to that as well. I want you to begin with that as well, Babu, this morning. Just a quick reaction to that. And also respond to this. You said, where is the crisis that the media is reading into this? I'll read for you a couple of statements here this morning on exactly what the crisis is. Now, across the weekend, Member of Parliament in Siaya, Samuel Atandi, publicly claimed that, now this is what he said, that Raila Amolo Odinga left no clear successor to that party, casting doubt on whether any party member, Babu, could match President Ruto's power. Come outside there, you'll hear what the SG is speaking as well. The SG is saying this broad-based government deal was only supposed to last us into 2027. After 2027, we're supposed to march our own way as a political party. So he's asking the party to start making plans now. Have a candidate. And if you do remember what he said during his during Raila Amolo Odinga's burial, he said, well, do not put words into people who have already died. Raila Amolo Odinga never said that this party had a plan past 2027. He didn't say that. He said, hold on, we're going to give you that plan. And then he said, we, people who are close to Raila Amolo Odinga, know exactly what was in his heart. Is that not a crisis?
Let me tell you.
Yes, begin with Shiuka first.
No, he's put up a good fight.
Yes.
As a lieutenant of the president. But I can tell you, politically, the president is more interested in ODM than UDA. And then any arrangement any structure that you will see in ODM, he has a hand in it. Let me tell you, Simba, and my brother would confirm this. If elections were to be held today, UDA will only perform in Rift Valley, and not the entire Rift Valley. Tell me, where else? If you go to Mountain, where they did well in the last election, nobody would want to see anything yellow, leave alone the UDA. Nobody in the Mountain wants to see anything yellow. They call it yellow fever. It will give you different diseases. Go to Nyanza, where they try to make inroads in Homa Bay and other parts of Nyanza counties. You cannot feel a UDA candidate in Nyanza and imagine that they will win. They cannot even come number 3. They will be defeated by even an independent candidate. So as of now, ODM serves more interest of the president than even UDA, which is his own party. So I can tell you here black and white and put it on record. One day you will call me and ask me, whatever changes that might happen in ODM today, the president has an hand. Because he's a politician, he understands the ripple effect of that. If Sifuna today becomes the party leader, President Ruto and ODM arrangement is completely done, and he knows it. If Babu Owino becomes the party leader, there is no arrangement that will be there between UD and ODM, and President knows that. He understands it. If Orengo, Anyang' Nyong'o, or Simba Arati will take that mantle, the president has clear understanding what will happen. And that's what I want to tell you, and I repeat, that anything that will happen even in that NMC, he has his lieutenants, his missionaries in that meeting.
Yes.
Who will be pushing an agenda of ODM, but they are agendas of Dr. Ruto.
Yes.
Yes. Now back to Samuel Atandi. Samuel Atandi was speaking as a member of parliament for Alego Songa, and also a leader from that region.
That's it.
And a member of ODM. But Atandi does not hold any leadership position in ODM.
Stick to his statement.
Listen.
Qualify statement.
I'm coming there.
Regardless of the position that he holds.
I'm coming there.
Yes, Baba.
Number one, we must note that he doesn't hold any leadership position in ODM. And when the SG speaks, the SG is the spokesperson of the party.
Yes.
So until then, Atandi is just making political statements.
Yes.
To defend his budget. Listen. Hold on, Pablo, just hold on.
Qualify statement. Do you want me to remind you the statement?
I heard you well.
Yes.
He said that Raila did not prepare any successor.
That's it. And currently as it is, there is no member or party leader of ODM who has the power that Ruto has.
That's what I'm coming to.
All right.
And that's what I've said. Atandi is making political statements to protect what he already has, to protect his plate of the budget chair. I mean, why would he compare members of ODM with the member of a different party? Why? Let me tell you, Simba, and this is the truth. And I want to say that it was in Raila's wisdom to go into this government and die there. I admire his wisdom, and I admire his intelligence, and I admire his capacity to foresee the future. Can you imagine a scenario where Raila would have died if you are in a scenario like 2023 cost of living demonstrations, where he was at loggerhead with the government, and then Raila dies? The same Samuel Atandi, who is now praising William Ruto to be the most conspicuous person to ever existed on earth,
yes,
would be speaking something different. Because anyway, he would have not been a budget chair. Now you get me? That's why I can boldly tell you that he's making political statements to protect his plate. He has no business of comparing ODM leadership with a non-party member.
But I'm still
in
waiting.
terms of conspicuousness.
I'm still waiting for you to qualify statement though.
Listen.
In the context of this conversation.
Listen. If today, Edwin Sifuna, Babu Owino, Gladys Wanga and everybody in ODM sits down, the leadership, and decides that we want to produce a candidate as a party in the footsteps of Raila. Because Raila said that ODM will have a candidate in 2027. He did not say that candidate will be William Ruto. And he did not say that he himself will be the candidate. But he just said, Chairman, you'll get your time. Chairman, you'll get your time. Relax. Raila said that we shall have a candidate in 2027. Sasa mambo mengine tupige vote base hadi tufike pale. Now, for some attorney to come and say that Raila did not prepare anybody, we all know that Raila did not come out and said that this will be the heir or this will be inherited. He did not say that. But what we must agree is that there is two factions in ODM. One believes that they should stick to the government.
That's it.
One believes that they should maintain the broad-based arrangement with a view of what Raila said, that we will have a candidate in 2027.
Therefore the crisis.
Listen.
Yes.
Two things.
Yes.
Even William Ruto himself can be that candidate of ODM in 2027.
That's not where you are coming now. You see. Now
Listen.
You've spoken now.
Listen.
You've spoken my point.
Ruto can be the candidate of ODM in 2027.
Yes. Now you're saying
That's why I say, when Raila said, remember we were in the midst, people were in the midst of broad base.
Yes.
And Raila said, usikuwe na haraka. We will have a candidate in 2027. But he did not mention which candidate.
Yes.
So even Sifuna to some extent can be wrong. Attorney to some extent can be wrong. Because Raila himself did not say the candidate. And therefore, it is the ODM party to decide who the candidate will be. And the candidate can as well be Samoei.
I agree with you.
Yes, in a minute, sure.
You know why I'm saying that Sifuna is not making the right interpretation of what he's supposed to do as the SG. Because when the Right Honorable said that ODM will have a candidate, and ODM has approached this agreement with UDA, the ruling party.
That's it.
Going up to 2027. It is wrong for Sifuna to say we cannot work with the government, and yet they have a broad-based agreement. When you have an agreement that is being serviced, you cannot gag the leaders from speaking their own mind, including the right honorable. So he said we shall have a candidate, and politics is very dynamic. Politics is very dynamic, and that is why you have the agreement of broad-based agreement between UDA and ODM. Who told you, or who has not told you, that ODM and UDA will produce a candidate? And that is the candidate that the Right Honorable was referring to. Who told you that candidate would not be His Excellency the President? The narrative and the formula you use for getting power, you cannot use the same formula to retaining that power. Even in sloganeering, even in narratives, I can give you an example even for Barack Obama. When he was going for his first term as president, he said, yes, we can. That was his running call for Americans. He said, yes, we can. But when he was going for his re-election, he did not say, yes, we can. He said, this election is not about me, it's about you. So what I'm saying is, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto could have been the candidate Raila Amolo Odinga was referring to.
That's it.
And that's why just to put up something with that. That's why I want to tell you, and I've said it before, that whatever happens in ODM today serves the interest of Dr. Ruto. He's a key player in that. He's a key beneficiary. Because he understands that between now and 2027, his party, UDA, cannot make any sense to anybody who has lived in this country for the last 3 years. And the chairman here will confirm that.
No, I can't confirm that. I cannot confirm that. You know,
now listen,
you cannot say that. You cannot say that to a ruling party. We are the ruling party. We are the ruling party, and we have democracy. We can talk to any other suitor to come on board. Because we want to serve everybody equally.
Now, Simba,
within inclusivity, we want to serve everybody in this country.
It's okay,
That's why we are bringing everybody on board.
It's okay, Chairman.
But the UDS is the ruling party, and the most serious party in this country.
It's okay, Chairman. Now listen, Simba. Based on all those arguments and assumptions and thoughts and ideas of different quarters,
yes,
it is right to say that William Samoei Ruto has got keen interest in what happens in ODM.
That's it.
Because he understands that it will affect him positively,
yes,
or negatively.
That's it. I want you to hold your thought right there. Because, gentlemen, once we come back, then we shall be looking at what the SG has been saying, what Babu Wino himself has been saying as well, what Gladys Wanga has been saying, a couple of big leaders within the ODM party who have voiced their sentiments. And today we do expect that once they meet with the interim party leader, they'll be putting their views across. Most importantly then is one deputy party leader, Simba Arati, who, by the way, has gone in and welcomed Kalonzo Musyoka back to the ODM party. Is that what we're going to see in this meeting today, where their views, in one way or another, have to make sense as ODM tries to figure out a way into 2027? Once we come back right here on The Morning Drift, we're still with Ken Babu and Sheyuka Douglas. Good morning.
Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Lookup, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza alikuwa na ria wasi wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hao sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi man.
Mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
People are there to belittle you. When people are questioning you,
if you don't move fast, of course, yes, you lose it, but then it's not us to push you.
But you do not know the God who has been molding me. What has he been doing to me?
The deep and mature conversations of empowerment for you with a curious mind and an appetite for oriented conversations.
I concur with what you're saying. You plan your finances, you can easily live without a debt.
An engaging safe space of free expression and truthfulness with an upheld vibrance, motivation and happiness.
So many children who are there, they are not living their dreams.
Join us for deep conversations with Zipporah Gashushe every Saturday from 8 p.m. The Deeper Conversations on Lookup TV.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
That's it. Welcome back to the Morning Drift. We are back again. As you can see, the debate is actually going on as we speak right now. Let me then bring in Shiuka. Shiuka, let me bring you in, because Shiuka, we're up. Yes, we're up. Let me bring you in on this particular conversation then.
Yes.
And I want to take you back to what the president said, and I also want you to go back to what Ken has presented this morning. He's saying that ODM is either going to form the government or be part of this government. And that's where the conversation begins. Because the president is making it clear that, guys, look here. It's either the ODM party is going to be part of this government, the next government, or it's actually going to form the government. And that statement, it shocked many people when the president had said it. Is that where the president is looking to see who can either be part of it or not be part of it from ODM? And when the president said that, you could see the rest of the leaders who came and spoke after him. They said, yes, some of them were saying, we're part of this government. The likes of the CSs that within that government also said, we are part of this government all the way to 2027 and even after 2027. But the question is, of what interest is ODM to the president into the 2027 general elections? And which party is of more interest? And I'll go back to what Ken told you. Is it the UDA party or is it the ODM party? Which party would the president really want to ride on into the 2027 general elections?
Mr. Simba, thank you so much. Let me start by saying this, that every political party is formed because they want to form government and get power from government.
Yes.
Every political party, forget about UDA, forget about ODM, even the smallest party you can think of, is formed because they want to form government.
Yes.
And ODM members have a right to say that we shall have a presidential candidate, either singly or with the UDA. But to me, I think is a matter of misinterpretation from the likes of Sifuna, the SG, and Babu Owino, because yes, at the moment, ODM and UDA have a legal binding agreement of working together. So somebody who thinks otherwise at the moment, I think for me is a point of ignorance. It's a point of interpreting it wrongly. Because it is Sifuna who appended his signature as the SG to the broad-based agreement.
Yes, but we
have got two things.
Yes.
We have what you can say as a party secretary, in the official position as the Secretary General of a party, and your personal opinion as a senator, in this case of Sifuna. Mm-hmm. But for him in that position, he's not supposed to issue such two contradictory statements to that effect. He's supposed to know that I am the SG and I appended a signature to this broad-based government because this was my party position.
Yes.
And as of now, that's the position. ODM is working with UDA on a broad-based agreement.
Yes.
And therefore, unless they reach 27, they separate. But at the moment, they are working together.
That's it.
They are working together, servicing the agreement.
That's it.
Yes.
Shiuka, is the fear from ODM, just before we cross over to Babu, is the fear that ODM as a party now can't envision themselves in opposition? Because then for you to say that you're in the opposition, you got to break out of this government at a certain time and present your ideas that can help you ascend to power. Is that what it is? That the guys who are sitting in that party right now, and the guys who are already in government, are looking at it and saying, we don't want to be in opposition. Is that where the fear is? That currently as it is right now, the opposition is held by the likes of Ken Babu this morning with Rigathi Gachagua and the rest of them, and the likes of Martha Karua and Kalonzo Musyoka, that the ODM doesn't find its space in the opposition. Is that why the crisis is, Shiuka?
I will not say it's a crisis, but I'll say it's a succession plan. You know, the Right Honorable left without anybody expecting that he will leave the stage.
That's it.
So, in one way of trying to fill the void, they will fill the void either sitting down, because we have got a structure of leadership in ODM.
Yes.
Of the deputy party leaders, chairperson, and ABCD. One. So the last statement I can say that was left behind by the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga was what was signed. What was signed at the KICC between ODM and UDA.
That's it.
That is the last statement.
Yes.
Forget about what was being done in funerals. Those were just personal opinions, which is also allowed. But the last statement that the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga left for the ODM people was the agreement that it was signed with the UDA party. And that is where the new leadership should push the party members to achieve.
That's it.
2027, when we reach there, as a party and also as a party, they will have to agree on the way forward. But if we work together cohesively, the way we are doing APC, the way we are doing, why should we call a bat when we are going to form power? Because every political party is formed because of power, forming the government. And now, ODM is now in government by default. They had an agreement with UDA. Why should somebody think that ODM should come out of government to go in the opposition? Why?
That's the question, Ken, that I want you to pick on that. That why should anybody think that now the ODM party should pull out of this broad-based government agreement that was signed and start charting their way into 2027? And these are the leaders within the ODM party who are putting that across. The SG has been speaking vehemently, even in the face of President Dr. William Ruto, telling him, look here, what we know is we are only working with you up to 2027. Raila Amolo Odinga himself said this party would have a leader in the 2027 elections. But then, Babu, we can't sit here. We know how elections are conducted in this country. We can't sit here and then say, we are only going to wait up to 2027 for ODM to tell us who their party leader is going to be for them to begin their campaigns. If that is a consensus within the party, that Raila Amolo Odinga didn't say that we're going to be in this government post-2027. That then at some point, Babu, they got to pull out and start charting their own way. And that's what the SG is saying. He's saying, well, I do not disagree. But then this is what he said and this is what we're going to do. Just hold on to there. And then Simba Arati comes in and says, you know what? At this point, I feel that we should even invite Kalonzo back to the ODM. Because as it were, we are charting our way as a party. And I asked you to qualify what Simba Atandi was saying, what Atandi, was saying. Atandi said, look here, as it were, Raila Amolo Odinga did not leave any successor for this party. But when I look within the party, there's nobody who wields the power that one Ruto enjoys across the country. Does it therefore make sense that these guys are speaking from the same side? I think, if indeed we're going to have a party, let's invite the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka back so that we have a bargaining chip into 2027.
I think, let me tell you.
Yes.
Atandi is right when he says that nobody in ODM enjoys the power that Dr. Ruto enjoys.
That's it.
But there are people in ODM who enjoys relationship with the people on the ground and popularity that can beat Ruto on one election.
Who's that? Babu, could you give us a list this morning?
Let me tell you, even if that party gives Babu Owino a ticket today for presidency, just Babu Owino alone. Just Babu Owino alone. I'm not here to drum support for him, but I'm telling you, I'm now opening up and respond to what Sam Atandi was saying. If ODM today announces that Babu Owino will be our presidential candidate in 2027, Dr. Tuo will be home. He will be home. He will be home. And I want you to get this. Ruto understands these things, and he knows the ripple effect of any of such a decision. He knows that.
Babu,
and that's why. Listen.
And I'm sorry to cut you short. On that one right there, on Babu Owino, if the party is convinced that within their lines they have somebody who can actually win an election, what is the hold?
Now the holds, the holds are now the small differences that are within, where you hear people like Atandi protecting their plates and saying that, oh, there's nobody in the party who can run against the president.
Yes.
In short, he's dismissing any other person apart from himself. He thinks that he is the only person. If not him, then there is no other person. Get that? But I can tell you today, if ODM convenes that meeting and settles, maybe they will not want to give him the party leadership. They change their constitution and say, Babu Owino will be the presidential candidate of this party in 2027.
Yes.
I want to tell you, President Ruto will have to go back down and restructure.
But Atandi seems...
Hold on. Inviting Kalonzo.
Yes.
Kalonzo has been a member of ODM before. I hope you know that. Before you had ODM Kenya and then which all that stories. Kalonzo has worked closely with Raila for a long time. And if Kalonzo inherits Raila's support base, Ruto is one term. That one is black and white. He knows it. So everything that's happening in ODM, right now, the president is more interested than even an ODM member. You get me? President Ruto is interested in affairs of ODM than even Sifuna, with the SG. And listen, when Sifuna says that we had an arrangement of up to 2027, he is right, because that is what he signed. He is not opposing the president, he is not against anybody, he is just sticking to the word and the paper. He is talking to a document which he can present before people and defend. This is what we signed, and these are the dates from this time to 2027.
Yes.
So, Your Excellency, if there's any arrangement that you want us to have, there's an open window. We can negotiate, we can talk, but not now. 2027. Well, let's cross that bridge when it's there. That's what Sifuna is saying. But people also, they want to say, oh, Sifuna is opposed to, no, he's just reminding the president that stick to the plan that Mzee gave us. Just stick to that plan. If we reach there, we'll now have that discussion they're trying to bring on. But for now, let's focus.
That's it.
That's what he's saying. And on the issue of party leadership and all that, I've told you that the biggest beneficiary is the president. And the issue of Sifuna and Babu Owino being somehow bolted out of the party, I've told you that ODM, as it is right now, is operating under serious mistrust. Everybody is just looking at their back. Gladys Wanga has a faction of women leaders who believes that if she becomes the party leader, their issues are sorted. Get that? Sifuna has a faction of, Sifuna and Babu has a faction of young, vibrant people who believes that the time is now to bring back the Raila Odinga of 95.
Yes.
The time is now to bring back the Raila Odinga of 96 so that we can change this country and chart a different path. And let me tell you, and he said it here, Raila was not called from his bedroom somewhere in Bondo and told, now you will be our leader. He stood out. And in fact, if you look at it keenly, when Jaramogi died, Orengo was the most popular and conspicuous lower leader within Ford Kenya after Jaramogi. Get that? And Raila was walking in the shadows of Orengo. But because he wanted to offer leadership. So Babu Owino is not a rebel. He's not a rebellious child. He's a child who has a vision, ambition, and he feels like the father has exited the stage.
Yes.
The family is now in dismay. People are scattered. Can I unite the family? Can I be given an opportunity to offer alternative leadership? Can they listen? Yes, he's not the firstborn, but he's that child in a house who feels like we should not remain scattered forever.
we can still be united and offer a direction. That is the child he is. But remember, they are firstborns who believes that no matter how useless I am as the firstborn, you must hold your cool. I will give directions, whereas they're not giving any direction.
Three issues that you've got to respond to here, and this is exactly what Babu has put across. That should the ODM party decide to front a candidate now, as it were, that this nonsense of people saying that there is nobody within that hierarchy, within our party, who can wield the power and the influence that Ruto has across the country, that is just pure nonsense. That if today, probably, they front a Babu presidency, it is straight away, all the way to presidency. One. Number two, that Kalonzo can be allowed back by the president, because the president knows if that guy goes back to ODM, he also goes all the way to presidency as well. So as it stands, this is what Ken is presenting this morning. Ruto is more involved in the affairs of ODM, but right now his focus is just on ODM, because he knows his ticket to presidency is going to come from ODM. Shioka.
Thank you so much. First of all, let me say that the best way and the only way ODM members can be in government is through the partnership of ODM and UDA going forward. Number two, the candidature of Babu Owino on ODM, with my friend saying that that's a sure bet. Let me ask you a question. What political magic will Babu Owino bring to the ODM party that Raila Amolo Odinga could not manage? What political magic? I think as everybody has got a right to aspire to any position. But for me, the best way, and this is the last standing order that Raila Amolo Odinga left, for ODM to assume power 2027 and beyond, yes, is through the collaboration of UDA or UDA party with the president. And I can say His Excellency the President has got interest in the affairs of the ODM party because one, the party leader of ODM is no longer there. Two, the UDA and ODM have a surviving agreement, yes, of collaboration to working together to form government beyond 2027. So anybody who is going against this agreement, I think that His Excellency the President has a right, because we have an agreement, to say, no, this is not the way we are going to go, we are going to do it this way. He's not trying to involve himself in the affairs of other people. Because there is nobody in ODM at the moment who is a crowd puller, who has the magic, yes, who has got the courage. Yeah, what are you talking about? You get me? Like the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And if before his Adam demise, he came to his senses and said, the only way for me, having attempted for the presidency for more than 5 times, the only way for me to be in government is through this broad-based government, the agreement. Who do you think in the ODM party has the political stamina to run a presidential campaign and defeat His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto? As their meeting, they have got a right to organize the house and perhaps appoint a party leader, because nature abhors a vacuum. So we need to have a party leader who will pursue and implement the last standing order Raila Amolo Odinga left, that ODM and UDA have an agreement to work up to 2027. For Sifuna as the SG to start castigating the agreement that is being serviced up to 2027 and the SG is uncalled for. Let him wait up to 2027. Then say, ODM, we are calling ODM party members to order that we are going to produce a presidential candidate.
Yes.
But at the moment,
Yes.
let them service the agreement they have with the UDA in totality. And then when that time comes, they'll have to look back and say, okay, in our relationship with the UDA in the government, what did we benefit? Why do you think we cannot proceed with the same agreement? We keep his the second term, and then maybe we see going forward how we're going to go. And who says that His Excellency the President cannot, because ODM can even produce a candidate. And remember, His Excellency the President is a life member of ODM. Is a life member of ODM as we speak. And that gives him privileges. There are meetings he can even attend in ODM because he's a life member. You know, when you look, what defines? Let me tell you.
Bob, you'll come and respond.
No, let me tell you. When you look at what defines the privileges of a life member of a political party, it tells you that there are meetings he can attend. Okay? That his opinion counts.
Simba, you are allowing chairman to misinterpret.
So at the moment as we speak now, His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto is a member of ODM. He's a life member of ODM. Simba. And a life member of a political party enjoys certain privileges.
You're allowing chairman to mislead the public.
It's not misleading, I'm not misleading. You know, a life member of a political party enjoys certain privileges.
You are allowing chairman to mislead the public.
If you check,
Simba,
you see those privileges.
You cannot be a member of more than one political party.
You get me?
President
so
Ruto,
in life, a life member is a life member.
Simba.
Yes. Can just before you
you know Simba.
Yes.
It will be you will be doing harm to my character.
Yes.
The person of Ken Babu. To sit here and the chairman is misleading the public.
Yes.
And misrepresenting facts.
He's actually said it himself.
Hold on. You cannot be a member of two political parties. There is no way William Samuel Ruto can be a life member of ODM party and at the same time a life member of UDA party. So chairman needs to withdraw that if he's truly a chairman. But if he's not a chairman, he will maintain that position. But what I'm saying is this, let it be on record that William Ruto was a member of ODM and he's not a member of ODM. Maybe he thinks of moving to ODM. In fact, if today he goes to ODM, he loses that presidential seat. Because that is the ticket under which he was elected on. UDA. So he's not a life member of ODM. Let that remain on record. 2, for my brother here to purport or imagine that there is nobody in this country who can marshal votes to take William Ruto home, it's a total lie. It is a total lie. And unfortunately, he might not be aware, but the William Ruto whom he is seriously defending here is aware that there are people in this country who can take him home. And that's why he doesn't sleep. He cannot catch sleep. He is aware that he has misled the nation. He has taken the nation in the wrong direction. And Raila Odinga once said in 2017 that you can do everything as a leader to the people, bad or good, but the day the people will get tired, they will act.
Yes.
And William Ruto understands that the much he has done for Kenyans, up to now, Kenyans are tired and they're ready to act.
Yes.
So for him to say that there's nobody who can take him home, that's a very unfortunate statement. And I think we'll confirm that in 2027.
That's it.
But let me tell you this. You see, in the opposition, people tend to think that we are fighting Dr. Ruto as a person. No. And I can tell you, I've engaged Dr. Ruto. I've had an engagement with him with the delegation of young people before he became the president. As a person, he's not a bad person.
Yes.
He's a very fair person. He's a very good person, a family man, he's a friendly fellow. The problem we have is the way he's handling the leadership of the country. He's at the top. He's the man on top of everything. But he has confirmed that he cannot do anything. is on top but doing nothing.
No,
that's where Chairman, you'll have your time.
Yes,
you'll have your time.
No, but to say he's doing nothing,
you'll have your,
I think that
I know he's doing something.
I think that one I have to interject.
He's doing something as far as shoot in the leg is concerned.
Because
at least he's doing something.
As far as I know,
now listen, Chair will talk. Chairman, you will talk. You will talk. You will defend the party leader.
You just implemented the manifesto.
You will defend the party
almost
leader.
50%.
Please, Chairman, you will defend the party leader.
Yes.
The fellow is on top. And the most responsible act of a man is to be on top and do nothing. That's why in the opposition we are saying he should go home. Mm-hmm. It's not because of him as a person, but he has continuously demonstrated lack of proper leadership. Get that? What we are fighting is a system that is trying to bring in. We are not fighting as a person. We are fighting a system that is trying to bring in. A system where lecturers can go on strike for more than 30 days. Students are out of school for more than 30 days, but the system, the presidency, and the leadership of the country does not find it awkward to address that issue of CBA. We are fighting a system where doctors and nurses can go on strike. Patients are dying, but the leadership does not find it awkward to address such a situation. We are fighting a system where the health infrastructure is failing, but the cabinet secretary finds it difficult to explain himself to members of parliament to an extent that when he's asked questions, he attacks them. For instance, recently when Mheshimiwa Duale was attacking Kibagendi on the grounds that because Kibagendi raised issues around SHA, mismanagement of SHA, and the response of the waziri was, you are crying because your hospitals were closed. And Kibagendi is on record saying that he has never operated an hospital before. So instead of offering alternative and solutions, we want to point fingers. Why are you crying? Why are you? So, okay, if Kibagendi had hospitals, let's say, so he should not raise issues on behalf of Kenyans because he owned an hospital. That's not true. That's not the case. That should not go that way. We are fighting a system that this regime is trying to put up. A system where young people cannot get employment, but when they complain about it,
yes,
the government does not find it fit to address that issue. You are told to wait. Things will get better. Until when? So it is not a war, it's not a personal war. It's a war to restructure and have a system that can be functional to everybody. And Raila said, he does not fight a person, he fights systems. And that is what we are also escalating. It's a systemic war. So when I say that the president is not doing something, what I mean is the system that is putting in place does not address the issues that affects the people on the ground. Look at that. And he's the one on the top. So all that will happen, all the mismanagement and corruption that waziris and everybody will do, will go back to the president because he's the one who has the final sword to cut and share or to cut and eat alone. Mm-hmm. That is it.
That's it. Just even as you respond to what Babwa said this morning, and this is, I'll read for you some of the comments that we're getting right now in this conversation. I've got one here from Amos who's saying that ODM should focus on having a strong stake in a 2027. So Sifuna is not wrong. That's what he's saying this morning. Do you agree that their focus should be, we're going to have a strong stake in 2027? So that means that everything that SG is talking about right now is positioning the party to have a strong stake in a 2027. Do not allow Dr. President William Ruto to dictate how the CBA is going to be looked into, just like Babu is saying. Dictate your own way. We'll come to the table and talk about it. That he is not wrong. That Shuka, you can't say that Sifuna is wrong right now. Do you agree?
First of all, let me say something about what my friend Babu said.
That's it.
About the strikes. Strikes have been there before this government was formed. And the leadership of the strikes, have a right to do so because they are agitating for their right.
That's it.
Number two, the Kenya Kwanza government is doing a lot. It's doing a lot because, and we know we have to implement our manifesto, because for the Kenya Kwanza government to seek a re-election, it will be judged upon the scorecard of its manifesto. And we are working on implementing our manifesto so that when we shall go back to the people and tell them we need a second term, they'll ask us why. Yes. So this is our manifesto. This is what we wanted to implement. We have done 1, 2, 3, 4. So for my friend Babu to say we're doing nothing, I think that when you have to withdraw it, because we are implementing our manifesto. Number 3, I think Sifuna is doing the right thing at the wrong time. Because you cannot agitate when you are serving an agreement that's existing. And the UDF party is not in breach. We have an agreement with ODF for 10-point agenda. We are implementing the 10-point agenda. We are not in breach. UDA led by our party leader, His Excellency the President, we are not in breach. Let's service the agreement. Come 2027, if ODM officially declare, not Sifuna as a person, because those are the views of Sifuna as a person, not official statement from ODM. Because ODM party has got organs where official decisions and communications are made.
Yes.
So what Senator Sifuna is saying, I can't take it serious because that is his personal decision. What he can say, and I take it serious, is a position taken through the party organs, communicated by him because he's the official spokesperson of the party. That I'll say, what Sifuna has said, we shall listen to it because it's an official position of the party brought up by the official party organ.
Yes.
But for him, what he's saying is not an agitating. He's making a lot of noise because he is a signatory to a broad-based agreement, which is being serviced at the moment. Come 2027, if ODM has got other ideas, they'll sit down through their organs and they'll come up with an official position which him, as a Secretary General, will have to make. But he cannot purport to make official decisions which have not been made by the official position.
That's it.
So what he's making is noise. It's not an agitation. He's making noise. That's what I can. That's noise he's making, because he has to convince his people. They make an official decision. They say, no, this agreement, we are pulling out of this agreement with the UDA. That is okay. But for him to sign, to append his signature on the agreement that is being serviced, the ODM party has not said anything against it, and then he comes and say he's agitating. That is being wrong. For you to be a leader, you need to start on high moral ground.
That's it.
You should not speak from both of his mouth. Let him be a leader. If he feels he is not ready to be in prospect government, let him convince the party organs to make an official statement. Yes. But so far, let him follow what the last standing order was left by Baba, that ODM have a working relationship through the broad-based agreement with the UDA.
That's it.
Up 2027. From there, if the relationship is okay, it will be extended. It's not necessarily for them to have a presidential candidate. And I said politics is dynamic. Who knows? Today I'm in UDA, I can be not even tomorrow. So, and I say I want to be a president. So it's okay, but it's premature. It's a premature campaign. Let's reach there. Let's cross that bridge when we reach there.
That's it.
So I'm asking His Honorable Sifuna to hold his horse a little bit and wait to 2027. Then he can make his voice.
So we only have 5 minutes to go. I just want you to be very quick on this as well. This is Abraham this morning who's writing and saying, as things stand, for ODM to survive, Sifuna has to go. All right? So I want to respond to that. And I'm going to extend what Samuel Atandi Uloga Usonga, Member of Parliament, said this weekend, and this what he said. If you think you can run for president, you will not use ODM. Use your own party. All right? Goes on to say, I know some leaders who say that if ODM is going to sign a coalition agreement with President Ruto, they are going to exit. And he says, please exit. We have so many leaders who can fit in your shoes. Goes on to say, who can be SG. That's it. Is it true then, going by these statements that we're getting here in the studio this morning, that as things stand, because of the focus that the president has on the party, of the focus that the guys already in government have for ODM and the president that any other person who speaks against that coalition agreement that is going to take the government into 2022 and the possibility, 2027, and the possibility of beyond 2027, they gotta exit.
Just like I told you earlier on, that William Ruto, the president, has got his emissaries, has got his emissaries, that's it, lieutenants in ODM right now. And Sam Atandi is one of them, who speaks, he does not speak for the party or on behalf of the party. He speaks for President Ruto within ODM.
Yes.
But anyway, Sam Atandi is nowhere in the decision-making of the party. So whatever he's saying is side shows, politics. When the party decisions are made, he's not even anywhere close to that. He will not attend the NMC. He will just be called to go and speak what the NMC decided in funerals in Alego Songa.
That's it.
Get that? So what he's doing is just protecting his plate.
Yes.
By attacking the ST to appear loyal to the owner of the plate or the kitchen owner, so that when he goes to the kitchen, he gets more on the plate. Nothing more, nothing less. If Raila Odinga today was alive and decided to walk out of Broadbase,
yes,
could Sam Atandi say that to him? No, because Raila was the owner of the plate that he's owning today. But now that Raila passed away, he did not even take 30 days and he has already shifted loyalty elsewhere instead of remaining within the confines and structures of the party. So I can tell you black and white that the fellow is defending his seat, and that is what is priority to him right now, not even the party. Of Sifuna, some people being able to be SGs and everything, that one is okay. That one is okay. There were SGs before Sifuna came. Anyang Nyong was there, Ababu was there, Sifuna will be there, and the day he will get tired, like I said, he will act. Get it? And his life will not stop, and ODM might not stop as well. People will have to move on with their lives,
yes,
and explore their ambitions in different areas. But that does not say that Sam Atandi will amount to SG. He cannot be an SG in ODM. He will never be. He knows it. So he's protecting his plate, it's okay, but he should not protect his plate as it divides or causes havoc within the party.
Yes.
In interest of somebody who's not a member of the party.
That's it.
2, on the issue of somebody has said that Sifuna must go for ODM survive. You've read something there?
That's it.
Somebody said that?
That's it. And that's what Atandi and the
Sifuna must go for ODM survive from what?
Yes.
That should be the question. The concern should not be who is going.
From a break.
The question now is,
yes,
he should go for ODM survive from what?
That's it.
Why was the ODM not surviving from that thing when Raila was alive? You see, you get the point? Raila was there and Sifuna was speaking the same thing he's speaking. But this, Atandi did not come to ODM yesterday, after Raila's death. Atandi has been there and he was not saying these things when Raila was alive. And Sifuna was saying what he's saying while Raila was still there. And Atandi was not responding to him. Atandi grew muscles. Immediately he saw Raila's casket deep inside. He grew muscles. And now he's walking. Let me tell you, that party will stand,
yes,
with the Sifuna, or if they send him away.
That's it.
It will stand with Atandi or they send him away. That party is deeply rooted in people. You get that?
That's it.
And let me make it black and white to you. Sifuna has been consistent and is still consistent. And what he's saying is what my brother has mentioned as well. For ODM to have a serious negotiation in this government, there must be hardliners. We must have Ruto of 207 for Raila to be a prime minister.
Yes.
You get me? And those Rutos of 207 for Raila who took a strong stand for Raila to become a prime minister,
yes,
is now the Sifunas of today. We must have Sifuna, we must have people like Babu, we must have strong hardliners who comes up and speak to the party, tell President, no, we agree that there was an arrangement, but hold on. Until 2027, that's what is written. So keep your breath, keep your cool,
yes,
we'll negotiate, we'll talk in 2027. But if you have everybody speaking like Sam Atandi, that's when you are going to lose the party.
Pretty much. Shiuka, we actually have 40 seconds left.
And by the way, let me put on record.
We actually have 40 seconds left, gentlemen.
Let me put on record that
Yes.
I am not a member of ODM, and I'm not speaking for ODM.
Yes.
I'm just speaking as a Kenyan who has grown all my life.
That's it.
Around the strongholds
That's
of
it, Ken.
ODM party.
That's it. Shiuka, just because we gotta talk about this before we step on, and I would ask you to only take 45 seconds to respond to this. This is what we're getting into the studio this morning. James Orengo, this one comes from Sam, who said that James Orengo should be appointed as the chairman of the ODM party. The movement is to preserve its legacy and vitality. His leadership style and deep understanding of the structural and institutional reforms make him the most capable of advancing Raila Odinga's vision within the party. Just hold on there. I've got Nelson Harvey this morning was saying, well, political formations are so temporary and are worse than plastic paper wrapping because they tend to shift every day. He says, I foresee a situation when President Ruto runs for presidency in 2027 on a coalition ticket of ODM and KANU. 45 seconds, just respond to that on one for James Orengo and what Nelson Harvey is saying about what he foresees.
What I'll say is that I will leave for the party organs of ODM to appoint a replacement for Raila Amolo Odinga, the party prime minister.
Yes.
But I will say that let them do so and honor the legacy of Raila Amolo Odinga.
Yes.
And they should remember that. Where did he leave them? He left them in the broad-based government. So the leadership that is going to take over from Baba should bear in mind that they have to take over the legacy of Baba. They should be in the broad-based government. Otherwise, if they want to take people out from the broad-based government, where are they taking the people of ODM?
That's it.
Where are they taking them? From the government to the opposition? That's not where the leaders of Baba.
That's it.
Yes.
Pretty much. Gentlemen, this has been a wonderful show this morning. And I will tell you, there's a lot that is already building around the ODM leadership in the country. We do know that a couple of them, indeed, the Kenyans who were saying that there might be a scenario where we don't see the president running on a UDA ticket come 2027, going by the conversations that are in the house this morning. Kenyan saying this morning, this is Karongo saying he foresees the president abandoning UDA and join an ODM coalition government for the 2027 presidential ticket. Guess what? We gotta step out. That's all the time that we have for you this morning. Ken Babu, Shiuka Douglas, thank you very much for making this a wonderful show. We step out. I'll see you tomorrow for another conversation. Good morning and goodbye.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 0700 893 542 or send us an email to info@lookuptv.co.ke.